Yay! The wheel turns and it's the 1st of April as I draft this anyway, and I'm so happy with authentic writing. The Celtic Irish season of Imbolc is over at the end of this month, and then we'll be into Beltane. Fantasy authors have always turned to Celtic tradition for ideas, and I'm always struck as I write historical fiction set in Ireland in 1169 how much it seems like fantasy. So, to invoke Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson's novels, let's turn the wheel. And the 1st of April, what a great time to spill the beans about upcoming chapters and plans for The Witch's Daughter. Publishing schedules and some great improvements to the site as well. So you'll already notice a few little fix-ups around the place, including this cool new index page. So if you are following The Witch's Daughter, you can now jump into that page here, and it's going to have this guide at the top, and below that all of the chapters in order, which is very handy if you're following through on chapters or catching up. Since starting this publication, I've turned myself into more of a professional writer than I expected I would have the fortitude to do. As a result, I'm feeling proud of myself, and I'm sure none of this is visible above the surface, but I see the mettle and the pace of what I'm doing improving in leaps and bounds. I'm not perfect, obviously, but thank you so much to my amazing paid subscribers. In fact, thanks to all of my subscribers and readers. Your being here and your contribution to this fire in my belly is beyond measure. So this is for you. Outside of authentic writing, I am going to writing events. I'm pitching and submitting my work to publishers. I'm entering competitions. I am getting good at prioritization. So what's becoming more clear to me now, working on authentic writing, is it's my top priority. So no matter what else I have committed myself to, getting great writing, new chapters, all of that published on time for you is top of my list. So going from that, I want to talk a little bit about my publication planning. You can see this on my About page. My plan is that I will continue with various pieces on Wednesdays. Some of those will be free. They might be paid after a while. But Sundays will always be that premium content that my paid subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. My planning with authentic writing is that I will be doing less of the demanding work on my other publication, Totally a Thing. It's still going to be keeping going, but I have just finished the last episode of a very demanding video series, and that dropped last weekend. So I'm now free to focus a lot more of my energy on my creative writing. So I'm very excited about that. I want to call out some great writers who I get inspired by, and I'm generally going to try to put those folks here under this recommendations page. So at the home page here of authentic writing, as part of that spring cleaning, so we've got our About there that I mentioned just before. We've got these different categories. So we've got our towers and castles here. We've got our Witch's Daughter posts, and then general fiction. And over here on the right is going to be the recommendations. Now this might change from time to time. And at the moment I have some work by Tom Cox, he's a fantastic writer. He's kind of a cross between like Gerald Durrell and Bill Bryson or something, but his work kind of defies genre. But great writer. And Margaret Atwood, of course, who is the famed author of Handmaid's Tale and many other great books. And she's got this fantastic post here about how to actually do writing, how to write novels. It's been hearted 5,000 times. I love it. But what I saw on her page was this leaderboard. And it's a way where folks who want to share your work, as you do, it's one of the things about our highly connected world these days. We can copy this link and I can share Margaret Atwood's blog posts with anyone. I can share her whole site with someone. And all I need to do is copy that link and then share it. Now, you don't need to do this with, you don't need to be identified on here, but you can be if you want to. So I've decided that it's going to be a great idea if I turn that on for my site. So if we go here, we can see the leaderboard again. So if you go to the leaderboard site, you've then got this copy link button that you can click, and you can also go into any of my posts and click this share button, and that's going to also give you a link. And using any of those two links will help me out massively, because you'll probably know better than I do who the other folks are who might enjoy what I'm doing here. And I know that everybody is super busy, but finding new things to read is really hard, and it's way too easy to just sit around doing doom scrolling. So do your friends a favor, get them out of the doom scroll and get them reading some great historic and other fiction instead. So that is referrals and recommendations. I also have made a conscious decision, and you'll probably notice that as I've scrolled through this site just now, that I realized authentic writing needed to have a sort of tip of the spear, and a lot of sites do have that. So for example, Tom Cox's work, he has his major novel that he published. I'm going to make that focus into The Witch's Daughter. So as you go to the site, you will see front and center The Witch's Daughter is all over the place here, which I think is good, because it means that when you are coming to the site specifically to read episodes, it's easy to find, it's quick to jump to whichever chapter you want, but it's also possible to catch up with my other stories if you want to. So tip of the spear, you will be seeing a lot more of Witch's Daughter. I'll be talking about Witch's Daughter more. I might do little sessions like this where I talk about my research and my trip to Ireland, how I delved into the history of that amazing country to find out everything that I'm putting into this story. I have 6 chapters of The Witch's Daughter out now. There are another 23 to come. So yes, I do have a lot planned out. I am a plotter. I tend to plan everything out, so I have a very good idea of what's happening, where we're going, and there will be a satisfying resolution. We're seeing a lot of characters come into the story right now. You will find out in coming chapters what happens to all of the diverse cast of characters and what the role they have to play, especially young 13-year-old Hildy, and what happens to her during the course of this momentous time, 1169 in Ireland. My artwork, you can see there I've got a new piece of artwork that I've done. That is now the new logo of the website, so I'm making it less about me and more about the reading. So you'll see less of this and more about the story. But I still do plan to do some little pieces about it. The paintings in particular are usually directly from my own imagination, sometimes based on the world of Hildy Blaine, of what she sees. For example, the recent one of the cottage here. This is an original painting by me. So I will continue to do that. I'll also include some of the sketches and notes that I've done in the field while I was traveling Ireland. Some of those pieces are a bit more sort of scratchy and weird looking, but I like those. I think that they kind of give the site or the story an air of like authenticity and stuff. And some of them, like this one here, are just from my notes over the years again. So I hope that they resonate with you. Please give me some feedback if you don't like any of the particular pieces or you're confused by them or something like that. But I put those in there. They're my own genuine artwork created by me, sometimes with ink, pen and paper, sometimes digitally. And they are part of what I feel compelled to put into my writing. So please give me some feedback. I'd love to hear what you think of those. Also, I am planning more maps. This hopefully is a hint, this new site logo. I spent some time thinking about what I was going to do for the site, and I wasn't sure what to choose as a logo, and I tossed around a few ideas here. Oops, you can see that. So I had kind of a scroll, and I had like sort of a cottage one, and I wasn't sure about the tree. But this map one, I think it doesn't just say maps, it also kind of says adventure and far off places and gives it a bit of a fantasy vibe as well. So that's what that new logo is. I'd love to get your feedback on that logo. But yes, there will be some maps to go with Witch's Daughter, and if you look into the guide here, you can see that I have placeholders for some of these maps, which I will be doing over the coming weeks. All right, so that is my update. We've been into this now for 3 months. Maybe I will do another one of these updates sometime between June and July, around the 1st or 2nd of July, in the middle of winter perhaps. And until then, thank you again so much for reading, all of my subscribers. I love you. Thank you so much. And please, when you can, take a moment to share this with your friends who like to read. Get them off the doom scrolling and into reading some fiction. Bye.